Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Fallen. Welcome back for another video. And today is the long overdue update on the Bird ES1 300 electric scooter. Now for the sake of this video, I'm just going to be calling it the Bird scooter. Now for people who have been watching the channel for quite some time, know that I purchased that scooter right before my 30th birthday in April of last year. I made lots of videos on it, the things I like about it, the things I don't like about it, things you should consider when buying an electric vehicle or an electric scooter. But you haven't seen me make any content ever since about the scooter. So a lot of you guys asked me questions, asked me to give you an update, and I just thought that it's time for me to do so. Well, the reason for that is that my journey with Bird, Segway, the company behind the electric scooter, hasn't been great. Now, as you guys know, when I first bought it, I was praising it. I was saying how amazing it is for urban living, to get around, how cheap it is to recharge it, being about one penny per mile if you can in residential electric grids for the most part. If you should buy it, depending where you live. But long story short, I decided to buy a battery for it, the external battery. And one of the reasons why I bought that battery is that even though it was not one of the main branded Segway electric scooters at the point in time, a lot of Segway and ES1 or ES series electric scooters have interchangeable accessories. Baskets, batteries, accessories, etc. because they're all built by Segway, which this Bird ES1 300 scooter, even though it's branded as a Bird scooter, it's actually being built by Segway. So I bought the battery for about $250. I was excited to make you guys some videos about it, why you should buy this battery, why you shouldn't buy the battery. Well, long story short, I bought the battery on Segway's official website. They shipped it out in about a week. They had to ship it ground because of it being a battery, so they can't just stick it on a plane and overnight it to you. And I was willing to pay the price for it because I was excited. It's going to double my range. It's going to increase my top speed. It's going to make my scooter fly pretty much. Well, I bought it and it was working fine for about a couple of weeks. After a couple of weeks, I started having so many issues that it would not charge or it would not hold charges, that it would not turn on. And I was like, what is going on? This is a brand new scooter, brand new battery. I bought them both within a month span of each other. At this point in time, I'm about $600, $700 into the purchase. You might say, hey, Fallen, $700. There are some scooters that go for $5,000 or $6,000. Now that's 100% true, but the point of it was a great budget scooter, and if you're close to doubling the price of the scooter, it should be worth it. Well, on paper, it technically should be, because the scooter is about $350 depending where you buy it. Some people bought it on sales in their local Costco, Sam's Clubs, Walmart website, other retailers that carried it. And it should be great. Well, like I said, stopped charging. I removed the battery and then I started to charge it normally. It was working fine for a little bit. So I was like, maybe it's a defective battery. Let me reach out to Segway. And this is where some of the nightmares have started. Segway was not excited to have the battery back because if you read the fine print, you need to return the item in the same condition that you purchased it. And that wasn't the case because I rode it for about a week until it started acting up. So Segway had to put in all these claims and reach out to teams, and the process stretched for about a couple weeks for me to have an approval just to return it. Now keep in mind, Segway doesn't really have their own customer support. They have a call center that they hire to deal with a lot of their customer support issues. So there's no direct way to communicate with Segway. And if you guys consider buying any Segway products, that's something that you should keep an eye on. Now this might burn bridges in any potential Segway or Bird partnerships in the road, but I feel like I have to be honest. By the way, if you want to buy this scooter now, you can't even find it anywhere, but we'll get into that in a minute. So I'm in constant communications with Segway. They're like, we don't want to return this because it's not in the same condition. Eventually, after hours of phone calls, literal hours of phone calls with all their customer support call center managers, they finally greenlight the return. They send me the label. I drop off the battery and then sway back to Segway. Shortly afterwards, they approved a refund for the full amount, which was great. So I appreciate Segway for doing that. Now, when I was trying to troubleshoot them about the issues that was happening with the scooter, which we'll get to in a second, they said that, why do we even have this? So even though it started to charge normally, some of the main issues I started to experience is that the charge would not hold anymore. The dashboard indicator was acting up and was not indicating proper battery time left or battery charge left. It was not indicating proper speeds. It would turn off while driving full speed. So keep in mind, you're going 15 miles an hour now with the base settings, if you don't have a modified scooter, and then you go from 15 to 0 in 1 second. Or you'll be going 15 and then you're trying to brake and the dashboard would turn off and you have to use the rear manual brake. And at first it was a very scary experience, and actually I had one of them coming back tonight to my apartment, which I'll get to in a second. So I'm trying to speak with Segway about troubleshooting the scooter, how to fix it, and they have no resources. They have no help. They're like, you need to reach out to Bird. Bird are the ones that kind of are the brand behind it. We do not provide any technical support. They said, we can help you find a Segway warranty center or a Segway maintenance center, but we're not going to be paying for it. Now, I asked them a million times because the issues that are happening with the scooter should be under manufacturer's warranty. Well, the reason they're not is that this product is not meant to be used for consumer services. Companies like Walmart, Sam's Club, Costco that bought these scooters shouldn't have had them in the first place, from what Segway told me. These are supposed to be commercial scooters. So the ones that you see Bird rent out to users, the Bird app, you rent them out. These are not supposed to be sold on a consumer level. So I'm not sure what the legal technical component that allowed Walmart, Sam's Club, Costco to buy these, but they somehow bought them, and this is one of the reasons why they don't sell them anymore, is that they weren't supposed to be selling them in the first place. So keep in mind, at this point in time, we're outside of return window for Walmart. So Walmart does not want to give me any money back, even though they extended the return policies through COVID, but because it was like already past the 60 or 90-day window that these kind of devices are under, and I've driven it for hundreds of miles before, like, why should we accept this return? So Walmart doesn't want to do anything with it. So that option is out of the window. Like I said, when I reached out to Segway, they're like, why do you even have this thing? It should be used for rental purposes. They don't want to provide any support. So if I would have taken it to a Segway support center, I would have to pay money out of pocket to have it repaired. I'm guessing it's not something crazy difficult about this. Now, I'm not an electrical engineer. I'm bad with motherboards. I'm good with just technical computer stuff. But if you would have asked me to replace a motherboard or fix a motherboard on a computer, I would not be able to do that. That's why there's professionals that handle that. If you need anything on the OS, operating software, all those things, I know how to do it. So I tried to do a lot of basic troubleshooting. Tried to do hard reboots, soft reboots, press and hold throttles in different times. I was Googling it left and right, and it was not working. Nothing was seeming like it would fix it for like 5 minutes, and then it would just stop working. So this is why when I started going back and visiting my family on Long Island, I started bringing it because I was afraid if I took it apart one day, it would not work whatsoever. Now keep in mind, it still worked, but the whole issues of it randomly shutting off, the battery indicator not being correct, and not being able to accelerate properly, all those issues are here to this day. Now keep in mind, I do take it out on a daily basis, but I'm not able to get half of the range that I was able to without the battery. So with me being a bigger person, yes, even though I can ride on it, my max distance is now only a few miles. Now keep in mind, when this product was being sold, it was advertised a range of 15 to 17 miles per charge. Now yes, that's for people in the weight class and how fast you're going, but at the same time, I was able to take it across town in New York City. I would not able to be take it halfway across town one way. So it's very frustrating. Now, when I tried to reach out to Bird directly about this issue, about seeing if they can provide any sort of support, if they can send me a replacement unit, their phone numbers did not work whatsoever. Now, as of January 2021, I'm not sure if that has changed, but their customer support is mostly focused on people on the rental side. So whenever I would call Bird directly, they would say, option one, if you have a personal unit that you've purchased, you would click that and say, nobody's available to pick up your call. I even tried to go the rental option, see if I could have a troubleshooting from one of the rental specialists, and none of them were available. Now, I'm not sure if that's Bird's general policies, that they don't have any great customer support in general, but that's a little bit upsetting, because the amount of compliments, questions, inquiries that I've gotten while I have the scooter around New York City is incredible. I probably spoke to 300 people over the span of the past 7, 8, 9 months I've had the scooter. They asked me, it's like, oh, you have a Bird? It's like, I didn't know that they rent Birds in New York. I was like, they don't, but Bird recently started selling them. I would give them the spiel that it's actually being manufactured by Segway. I wouldn't tell them all the negative things because I didn't want to kind of have a 2-hour conversation with each person, but they would be very impressed. Like I said, I just came back tonight and there was a gentleman that complimented saying, nice Bird. And I said, thank you. I mean, I didn't want to say like, oh, this is a piece of hunk of garbage, because to some extent, if it didn't have all these small issues with it, this would be a great scooter. This would, if they provided proper customer support, if they provided some sort of warranty on these things. But it's very disappointing because, like I said, I'm trying to get the most mileage out of the investment that I have. Now that I know I'm multiple folds in profit, versus if I would have had to Uber every single time I would have to go somewhere, and I've saved hundreds, if not, yeah, probably hundreds of hours if I would have had to walk all these distances that I have traveled on the scooter. The scooter is amazing. Like I said, I use it for my liquidation business to drop off packages. I have my little bags, I stick them on my arm, I drive the scooter around. Of course, all the issues that it's not being great for winter weather, especially with us being East Coasters, that we're in the middle of a winter right now, it still stands true. But it's very frustrating because I love this scooter. You guys might be able to see this excitement that I see. I think it's great branding between Bird and Segway, but their lack of customer support, their lack of customer orientation, their any sort of troubleshooting issues is, I'm not sure if I can support this scooter anymore. And it's very frustrating because I'm sure Segway provides great customer support for the rest of the ES scooters. They have 4, 5, 6 different ES scooters. Of course, they have the electric bike that they also sell. And it's very frustrating because this is supposed to be a budget, customer-friendly edition. And now for people who have bought them, and if you guys go on Reddit or YouTube, hundreds if not thousands of people have bought it in the past year. It's been out for about a year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And people are excited. They're like, this is a great budget scooter. I love it. It's getting me around. It has great accelerations. For a price tag, it's a must buy. And I was the same way when I first purchased it, when I first told you guys. And it's very disappointing because Segway is a very established company. Bird, even though, yes, they've had some bad connotations about scooters being left unattended in the rental market, I think they created something different. How ride-sharing changed the taxi industry, Bird and Lime have changed the transportation on everyday use methods. It created hundreds, if not thousands, of jobs for people that would recharge scooters in their own homes, and that has created a business and a market of its own. But if you're going to start selling something, provide proper support, provide proper care. Because half of the reason I bought this scooter instead of one of the Chinese knockoff scooters is that, ooh, Bird, ooh, Segway, it's a great combination. There's no way that I'm going to have any issues getting any sort of customer support, any sort of maintenance support, because it was my first time buying an electric scooter. Even though it wasn't very expensive, it was still a purchase. I was still out $350, and it was my first electric scooter. I was like, I want to get into the electric scooter market. I want to play around with them. If I like it, I might upgrade. I talked to you about how Boosted has their own scooter, but it's 5 times the price that I paid for this scooter. And even to this day, that's still a significant purchase. You can buy a used car for $1,000 versus buying an electric scooter. Yes, there is trade-offs for each one, but you guys get the point. And like I said, I feel like there is nothing crazy so if you have an electrical background, or you're an electrician, or if you understand soldering or computer logics, this might be an easy fix. But overall, what's my experience 7-8 months later? It's a great scooter. Even though me being a bigger person, it gets me around. And you might say, hey, this is the reason why you're not getting the same mileage, is because you're bigger. There have been people talking about how they're bigger and they have no problem getting around in scooters since I've been watching scooter videos. And it's very disappointing, because like I said, I would have loved to make more content on the scooter, but I've just not had any great updates. But because I still get comments and messages every once in a while, hopefully this answers all your questions, where I stand with the scooter. If you guys find the scooter somewhere on the secondary market, or some online merchant might be selling it, do consider these points if, like I said, if you consider buying it. Yes, it's a great scooter for a couple $100, but don't expect any customer support, customer service, maintenance support, anything from either Bird or Segway. Now, if Bird or Segway does want to reach out to me and help me deal with this issue, I'll kind of redact or give an updated video on it and give you guys what my experience has been. If they don't, it'll be very disappointing, and then you guys know what Segways and Birds stand on the situation is. Thank you guys very much for watching the video. If you guys like this kind of content, do consider clicking that subscribe and the bell notification so you can be notified when the next video drops. If you guys want to stay in touch with me on social media and us in general, all the social media links are in the description of this video. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.